Hello, welcome to my Belmont Stakes recap analysis. Let's talk about Golden Tempo. He earned a 100 Echo-based speed figure. I haven't seen the buyer, I haven't seen the breeze figure yet, but he won, and he's always going to be dangerous at a mile 1/4. He won the Kentucky Derby, he won the Belmont Stakes, and he's probably going to be dangerous again in the Travers Stakes. Now, this recap won't be as long as other recaps I've done. I want to talk about the track bias though that I noticed later in the card. Let's watch the Woody Stevens Stakes and the Met Mile, and we'll talk about the track bias that seemingly occurred. Okay, we have the Woody Stevens Stakes up here, and you see Englishman number 7, and he's going to go wide as they enter the stretch run. And even the announcer mentions he's going wide on purpose. He's like 5-6 wide right there. Then he goes back to the inside. But again, he went wide on the turn, possibly on purpose. Then he crushed him in the stretch run. Now he's on the inside. And it was very impressive, but I just wanted to show the part where he went wide on the turn, because it seemed like that was the winning move. Now we have the Met Mile, as we're going to see right here. Nisos is number 1. And you see that he's about 3 wide right now. Antiquarian on the inside. And we have Knightsbridge in between them. Nisos going about 4 or 5 wide. And then he's going to drop back to the middle, I think. And Nisos was very impressive here. But again, he made the same winning move, about 4 or 5 wide around the far turn. And then once he entered the stretch, he went back to the middle. And then he won by 4 or 5 lengths? With those races in mind, it came as no surprise that Golden Tempo made his winning move on the outside. And I thought Chief Wallaby was in a good position as they rounded a turn. He was in the lead. He was about 3 wide? And that's where you wanted to be, right? You wanted to be wide on a turn. But Golden Tempo, Commandment, and Renegade, they were much wider. And maybe that was the better spot. To give Golden Tempo some credit though, he was right there next to Commandment and Renegade on the inside, and he beat both of them. We can watch it again. Again, Golden Tempo, Renegade, and Commandment all made a super wide move around the far turn. Commandment made the widest move, and Golden Tempo was in between them. With that said, Golden Tempo simply outkicked him to the wire, and Renegade was struggling. Renegade had every chance to his inside, and Renegade couldn't even keep up with the top 2. It was Golden Tempo and Commandment to the wire, and Golden Tempo just outran Commandment to the wire. Even though there was a bias around the turn, I have to give Golden Tempo credit for outrunning Commandment, who made a wider move around the turn, and Renegade, who was just to his inside. They were all wider than Chief Wallaby, who was 3 wide around the turn. Golden Tempo, he wins at 6-1. Maybe we were all being too contrarian, trying to play against him. I wanted to show people a tweet I made about 2 days before the race, and I started to think, so many handicappers were picking against Golden Tempo. You had the handicappers on the big websites like DRF saying pick other horses. You had dumb handicappers on YouTube saying pick other horses. Everyone was saying that Golden Tempo benefited from the pace in the Kentucky Derby, including me, and that you should pick other horses on top in the Belmont Stakes. And I thought so many handicappers were saying to pick against Golden Tempo or limit him underneath. I put him 4th in my rankings, but I thought of him as an underneath horse. And so many people were saying this that I started to think maybe he wasn't going to be overbet. I wrote this tweet, I always assume the Kentucky Derby winner will be overbet in his immediate races afterwards, but I can't think of a single person who likes Golden Tempo as their top pick in the Belmont Stakes. I didn't follow through with this thought though. I stuck with Chief Wallaby and Growth Equity in my Met Mile Belmont Stakes double. And again, I said Golden Tempo was an underneath horse in the analysis that I did with Siggy, and Golden Tempo won. It felt like the forces of nature corrected itself. Nearly every handicapper out there said that Golden Tempo wasn't going to get the same pace in the Belmont Stakes, and that it was going to be harder for him. And look at what happened. The closers dominated the Belmont Stakes. The horses that were 9th, 8th, and 7th, after a half mile, ended up 1, 2, 3 at the end. Now, I still think there was a bias around the turn, and the best place to be was as wide as possible. With that said, Golden Tempo outran Commandment. He outran Renegade. They both went wide on a turn, and he won by a length and 1/4 over Commandment, who went wider than him. Golden Tempo ran well. Anytime this horse runs in a mile 1/4 race in the future, he will be a threat to win. And that's what I have to say about this race. Thanks for watching my video recapping the Belmont Stakes. And I might have one more video for this week. We'll see. Have a good day.